Hello, this is Chris or Ear Trash from How to Ableton, and this is going to be a beginner's tutorial for Ableton Live. I've been requested this by some new users, and I have done one of these before on my other channel, but I just thought I'd make one for this channel exclusively. So thanks for coming over, and please remember to give this video a like and subscribe if you are new. So without further ado, when you first open up Ableton, you're going to have an audio and a MIDI track like that. And you can just expand these by clicking and dragging down so that you've got more options here. By default, I'm pretty sure that these will all be turned off just to make it look simple. So I would then turn all these on just so you can see the full options. I'm going to go over them just now as well. So the button that's got a light on it, a number on it, is to represent if the channel is on or off, like if there's going to be audio coming out of it. So if you turn that off, there's going to be no audio coming out of these channels. If you solo it, it means it's going to obviously just mean soloed. There's only going to be audio coming out of that. If you press Control and click solo, you can solo two channels at the same time, so you can isolate them, which is quite a cool little feature. And you can move this volume here. And if this had an instrument on it, you could do it for that as well. And it's worth noting, anything Ableton, if you press Control and move it, you can get a more accurate measure. Right, over on the left hand side here, you'll see there's an arrow, and when you click that, it'll expand this effects window here. And there's a few of these arrows about for different things, like this bottom bit here. You can expand or fold that as well. And there'll be info bar here as well that tells you things. That'll be quite useful. So if you're wondering what something is, you could always use that. But yeah, on the left here, you have your instruments, MIDI effects, and audio effects. So yeah, your instruments, the ones I use the most is drum rack and operator, and instrument racks as well. MIDI effects, these are just for effect in the MIDI only. You've got arpeggiators, that's for making like trancey sounds, and chords for making chords, obviously. And you can just have a play about with these. I would recommend like putting in just a basic operator into your MIDI track, and then and you'll hear that's like a sine wave just now. You can change the sound of it by going into the waveform, maybe change it to a saw, and then just play about with the MIDI effects just to get started with. Like put in an arpeggiator by clicking and dragging, or you can also just double click. So I'll just put in two there. Yeah, but you can just double click. Yeah, just put like the steps up and the rate, change the rate. Just sort of play about with that and you can get an idea of what it does. And then maybe go into the operator and have a play about with these, turn the other oscillators on. Yeah, and the drum racks, they're pretty cool as well. Instruments, your drum racks here. And you could go to your kits and try out the different kits and use your MIDI keyboard or your computer keyboard even. If you have this button enabled here, you could just use your normal computer keyboard to launch the sounds. And if it doesn't play, it means you're in the wrong octave. So find the right octave by pressing Z or X, because all these little squares here is basically like a very long keyboard. So when you press them, you can see that one's lighting up there, which means I'm an octave too high here. So I need to move an octave up. There we go. That's an octave low, sorry. So now my keyboard can be used as a MIDI controller. Cool. So now that you've got your instruments loaded into your MIDI track, you can start programming in your own beats. So just sort of select an area, like between, that's a bit too much. Select like a 2-bar area, 1, 2, and make sure it's highlighted like that on the MIDI track. Then right click, insert MIDI clip, double click it, and now you can start putting in a beat into this clip. So I'm just going to put in a very quick one here. I'm just pressing Control D, I'm just putting in one clip, drag it out, then press Control D to duplicate. And if you want to see more of the commands, go to Edit, and you'll see some of the commands here, which is quite handy to remember. But yeah, I'm going to get back to it and put in our beat. So the hi-hat, and just select this area, select the 4 blocks, Control D. Now we've already got a nice little techno beat. Now if I wanted to just work with this area, before arranging, I could Control L or right click and loop selection. I'm just going to loop that over and over, which would then give me a chance to add in other instruments. Or what you could do is making sure that this loop button is enabled here and the loop region is set to 2 bars. You could click the clip and press tab and put it into the mixer window here, which is quite cool. So then you could go into add in a bass line, so add in another MIDI track, and then go to your operator, and it'll start off with a sine wave. Let's hear what that sounds like. Oh, make sure it's armed first, so press record there. That's a bit loud. So you can look at the levels here, just try and match the levels. And I'm just going to insert a clip by double clicking into here and find that note that I just found on the keyboard, which is about there. And I'm just going to make a little pattern, same way as before, Control and D. And then if I want to launch these 2 clips together, I could just press this scene here. These are your scenes. I'm just going to delete this top one here. Just hit the play button on it and it'll play them both together. After this, you can basically go on to do a bit of synthesis and check out some of the other tutorials for some more advanced techniques, but just get to grips with the user face, using the shortcuts, using the tab key to switch back and forth. Familiarize yourself with these controls, the loop function, the keyboard button. This isn't so important unless you're going to be launching clips live in the mixer mode a lot. This is basically telling Ableton which mode you want to work in. So if you're working in sequencer, that's disabled. If you're working in the mixer mode, it's enabled. See? So yeah, that's pretty much the basics for this. If you have any questions or if you have any problems, we'll try and answer most of the comments within a certain period of time. So if you have any problems or you're new to Ableton, feel free to leave a comment below and one of the directors from this channel will try and get back to you. If we don't get back to you, maybe somebody else from the comment section will be able to answer your question, because people are usually quite helpful. So if this video helped you out on your quest of learning Ableton, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and we'll be putting up a lot more tutorials. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.